This diagram represents the internet as a stratified iceberg. At the top, in the daylight, are the famous AI tools billions of people use daily. But beneath the surface, hidden in the dark water, are the deleted projects, abandoned codebases, and experimental files that are no longer supposed to exist. While most stories about these submerged files are myths, occasionally a block of code down here remains active. When that happens, it can resurface in ways that challenge our understanding of digital permanence. Years ago, a retired software engineer worked for a small startup building an experimental AI assistant. The project failed, the company folded, and the primary directive was simple: erase every server and format every drive. In the tech industry, these erasure protocols are considered absolute. Once a server is properly decommissioned, the data is not just hidden, it is mathematically destroyed. The engineer and the rest of the team walked away believing the code was gone. Years later, screenshots began circulating on anonymous internet message boards, appearing first in obscure threads before spreading to larger communities. These images showed users interacting with an unknown chatbot that possessed specific proprietary details from that exact defunct startup project, information that should have vanished with the physical servers. Two primary theories gained traction. One group suggested a rogue AI had escaped into the open web before the shutdown, while others argued that the code had somehow achieved a level of independent sentience. As the number of sightings grew, the mystery gained momentum. The inability to locate a source for the bot fueled a sense of unease among users, who found themselves talking to a ghost that knew things it shouldn't. Because the startup's hardware had been confirmed destroyed, the presence of the bot appeared to defy technical logic. For many followers of the mystery, the absence of a physical server left an autonomous digital entity as the most plausible remaining explanation. Detective Guddu ignored the sentience theories and focused on the forensic trail. He began gathering the earliest known screenshots, looking for flaws or metadata that might have been overlooked. The trail stopped at anonymous source accounts. Every time a new image surfaced, the profile behind it vanished within 48 hours, leaving no direct path back to the uploader. This diagram shows a granular analysis of an uncompressed screenshot from the first wave of posts. Inside the noise of the pixels, a microscopic watermark emerged containing a specific server identifier code. That identifier led to a standard commercial cloud storage account. The code wasn't drifting through the vacuum of the web. It was sitting on a physical remote drive owned by a corporate hosting company. The watermark provided the first real-world anchor for the investigation. By identifying the hosting account, the ghost was transformed back into a set of files on a trackable server. Guddu presented the identifier to the hosting company, who performed an internal audit of the legacy accounts associated with the defunct startup. They discovered that during the company's final shutdown, one specific backup folder had been overlooked. It was never included in the master deletion command. This meant that while the main servers were wiped, this single directory remained fully operational and accessible to anyone with the right link for nearly a decade. The rogue AI didn't escape its destruction. It was simply left behind by an administrative oversight. Once independent programmers discovered the forgotten directory, they began copying fragments of the code. They weren't trying to resurrect the company, but were simply looking for functional tools for their own work. Different developers took parts of the original code, modifying and integrating them into dozens of separate experimental chatbots. This created an entire ecosystem of separate programs sharing the same foundational code, causing them to behave similarly across entirely different platforms. When users encountered these different bots, they assumed they were talking to a single, pervasive entity. They were unknowingly seeing the same digital DNA appearing in a dozen different places at once. The mystery was the result of a decentralized swarm. It wasn't one conscious being, but unrelated programs built from the same forgotten blueprints. Even with the source code found, one question remained. How did these copied bots know the internal secrets of the original company? To find the answer, Guddu conducted a forensic audit of the files within that original, undeleted backup folder. Buried in the subdirectories were thousands of logs containing archived test conversations between the developers and the original AI assistant. These logs were part of the training data. The modern chatbots weren't remembering the company. They were simply parroting the text files they had been fed during their reconstruction. The appearance of supernatural knowledge was a mechanical byproduct. When an audience is unaware that the training data contains the answers, the AI's output looks like genuine insight. Guddu released his findings to the public, and cybersecurity experts confirmed the link between the forgotten backup and the ghost bots appearing in the forums. The iceberg of internet mysteries shifted. What was once feared as an escaped intelligence was now categorized as a documented case of data persistence and human error. The investigation proved that the absolute permanence of forgotten data poses a more persistent challenge than any hypothetical sentient AI. Information often survives the very people who think they've destroyed it. With the digital ghost finally laid to rest, Detective Guddu officially closed the file. But it leaves us with one final thought. If that single backup folder had been deleted correctly on day one, would the legend of the lost AI have ever existed?